All right, so get this. We're going deep on all these next-level first-person shooters coming out in 2025.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you want to be ahead of the curve, get the jump on everyone else.
Yeah.
This is it. And we're basing this... Okay, so first up is Far Cry 7. And this one has a twist that's both super cool and kind of terrifying. Okay, so it has this 72-hour, in-game timer.
What?
So you've got just 3 days to rescue your family from this cult, the Sons of Truth.
Oh, wow.
And, the thing that really got me is that if you don't save a family member in time,
Yeah.
it has, lasting consequences.
Ooh, that's heavy.
Right? You think about those choices that you're making.
Yeah.
It's not just, shooting your way through a level.
Yeah.
It's about who do you save first? What paths do you take?
The emotional pressure, could it be really intense?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm super curious how that's going to play out in the different modes because Far Cry 7 has both PvP and PvE.
Oh, right.
So you can go up against other players or team up against the AI, but imagine trying to coordinate with your friends in co-op and that timer is just ticking down.
Oh, man. Talk about stress.
Right.
Yeah, it adds a whole other level of strategy to the game.
Totally. And speaking of connecting, Far Cry 7 is going all in on crossplay.
Oh, nice.
PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, all of them.
Seems like that's the trend with a lot of these games.
Yeah, totally. Okay, next up we have Ultimate Hunting. And I got to admit, this one's not usually my kind of game. But the idea of tracking prey through these super realistic environments,
Yeah.
feeling that tension of the hunt, that is pretty intriguing.
It seems like they're really going for that immersive experience.
Yeah.
It's interesting how Ultimate Hunting is tapping into that, almost meditative gameplay.
Right, yeah.
Alongside all these more action-packed titles.
Yeah, and just like Far Cry 7, it's coming to all the major platforms.
Okay.
Crossplay, 4-player co-op. Imagine coordinating with your squad to take down a giant elk or something.
That'd be pretty cool.
But I do wonder how they're going to approach the whole ethics of hunting thing.
Yeah.
Is it just going to be about the thrill of the kill, or are there going to be deeper considerations about, conservation, the impact on wildlife?
That's a really good question, and I bet a lot of players are going to be asking that.
For sure. It'll be interesting to see how the developers handle that. All right, now let's switch gears completely to a game that is totally up my alley, Pioner.
Okay, I'm listening.
This one drops us into a post-apocalyptic world full of secrets and danger.
I like it already.
You're exploring this mysterious island. You're scavenging for resources, battling mutated creatures, and basically trying to piece together what happened to this shattered world.
I love those kind of mysteries.
Right. And what I think is so cool about Pioneer is that it connects to some pretty deep stuff going on in the real world.
Like what?
Well, think about all those anxieties we have about resource scarcity, climate change, all that.
Yeah.
This game throws you right into that struggle for survival.
Yeah.
It makes you make those tough choices about how you're going to use those limited resources.
Right. Forces you to think about those things.
Exactly. And of course, it wouldn't be a modern FPS without co-op, right?
Of course not.
4-player cross-platform, you and your buddies can brave this desolate world together.
Strength in numbers, right?
For sure. But in Pioneer, it's not just about taking down enemies. It's about collaborating, sharing resources. Maybe even making some tough moral decisions together.
That adds a whole other layer to it.
Totally. All right, so next up is a name that I think any zombie fan is going to recognize, Dying Light. The Beast.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
Parkour, undead hordes, and what sounds like a terrifying new threat. It's got all the ingredients for a seriously adrenaline-fueled adventure.
What's got me curious about Dying Light the Beast is how they're going to build on what the series is already known for.
Right.
Like that day-night cycle that made the originals so intense.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that combined with this whole new beast element. How's that going to change the gameplay?
Right.
Will we see any familiar faces from the previous games?
Ooh, good question.
So many questions.
I know, right? The suspense is killing me. But one thing's for sure, we know it's going to have 4-player co-op and crossplay across all the platforms.
Okay, so you can grab your friends and jump right into this zombie-infested world.
It's exactly safety in numbers, or at least a little more fun when you're facing those hordes, right?
Right now, for something completely different, we have Center Mass Streets of Ramadi, which takes us straight into urban warfare.
From zombies to the battlefield, that is quite the leap.
It is.
What really stands out to me about this one is the setting itself.
Yeah, Ramadi.
Iraq, a place with a heavy history. And I'm really curious how they're going to approach that in the game.
Yeah.
Will it be a realistic and respectful portrayal of the complexities of war?
Right.
Or will it be more like an action movie spectacle?
It's a setting that definitely demands sensitivity and careful consideration.
Absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see if Center Mass uses this, this FPS framework to help players engage with a deeper understanding of modern conflict.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how co-op plays into that too.
Yeah, imagine coordinating with your squad in a war zone like that. The tension, the communication.
Oh, yeah.
It could be incredibly immersive, but also incredibly challenging. And of course, we've got crossplay, PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS.
All right, now let's talk about a game that's turning heads for a totally different reason. XDefiant.
Oh, yeah, this one's crazy.
It's taking characters and factions from different Ubisoft games and throwing them all into this fast-paced, competitive, multiplayer shooter.
It's like a what if?
Right.
Splinter Cell agents versus Ghost Recon soldiers while Watch Dogs hackers are messing with the battlefield.
Imagine the chaos.
Right.
I can't even imagine what the gameplay is going to be like.
Yeah, it's tapping into that nostalgia, for sure. Bringing all these beloved characters and universes together.
Yeah.
But the question is, will it actually be a cohesive experience or just a mishmash of elements?
That's what I'm wondering. And which Ubisoft universes are they going to include?
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
The Division, the possibilities are kind of endless.
It's definitely one to watch, especially for fans of those franchises.
Oh, for sure. And it's got that what if factor that you were talking about.
Exactly.
Really gets the imagination going. And while it's confirmed for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS with crossplay, it seems like they're focusing just on PvP for this one.
So no co-op for XDefiant.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're all about proving your skills in the arena, this could be the ultimate battleground.
Absolutely. Now, let's rewind the clock a bit and go back to World War II with the Pacific Front Squad 44.
Oh man, this is a setting that always gets me pumped.
Yeah.
What I love about this one is that they're focusing on the Pacific theater, which I think it often gets overshadowed in World War II games.
Right.
The jungle terrain, the naval battles. It's a whole different kind of intensity compared to the European front.
The Pacific Front has the potential to be more than just another World War II shooter.
For sure.
It's a chance to experience this less explored theater of war, to understand the unique challenges and sacrifices that soldiers faced in that environment.
Totally. And with 4-player co-op and cross-play across PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS, you can experience those challenges alongside your friends.
Yeah, teamwork's going to be crucial in this one.
Well, yeah, it's not just about individual skill. It's about coordinating maneuvers, communicating, effectively supporting each other through every firefight.
And that sense of camaraderie, that reliance on your squad mates, that's a key part of the World War II experience that I think the Pacific Front is trying to capture.
For sure. All right, so now for a game that is totally shrouded in mystery, the Projekt Z.
But with this one,
we know it's coming to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS with crossplay and 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
But beyond that, the details are really scarce.
What we do know is super intriguing.
Yeah.
A dystopian setting, themes of experimentation, hints of survival horror.
Yeah.
It's like they're giving us just enough to pique our curiosity without revealing the full picture.
I love that.
Like a blank canvas for our imagination.
Exactly. What kind of dystopian world are we stepping into?
What kind of experiments are they conducting?
Yeah. What role does survival horror play in all of this?
It's going to keep players guessing until the Projekt Z is finally revealed.
Totally. And for a game that's leaning so heavily into mystery, that sense of the unknown is perfect.
Yeah.
Just adds to the intrigue. Okay. Ready for another genre shift?
Yeah, bring it on.
Next up is DEFECT, a game that throws us into a world of rebellion and resistance against this oppressive regime.
Okay.
It's giving me serious cyberpunk vibes with a focus on stealth, strategic combat, and challenging the established order.
I love that.
Me too. And what I think is really interesting about DEFECT is how it's tapping into that desire for rebellion.
Right.
That yearning for freedom and autonomy that I think so many people feel.
Yeah.
It's like this virtual space where we can play out those fantasies of fighting against injustice and tyranny.
I like it.
And with crossplay for PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS, you can join forces with other rebels from all over the world.
Nice.
But here's the twist. DEFECT is focusing solely on PvP.
Oh, so you'll be fighting for freedom against other players as well as the regime.
Exactly. It's almost like a commentary on the nature of rebellion itself.
Right.
It can be messy, chaotic, with different factions fighting for power and control.
Yeah.
And in DEFECT, it seems like you'll have to navigate those complexities as you fight for your own vision, of a better world.
That adds a whole other layer of depth to it.
Right. It's not just about shooting your way to freedom. It's about making strategic alliances, outmaneuvering your rivals, and ultimately deciding what kind of future you want to build.
A game that makes you think.
Absolutely. And finally, we arrive at a game that I've been looking forward to for a while, Vigilancer 2099.
Oh, yeah. This one's been on my radar, too.
I saved this one for last because, let's be honest, cyberpunk is just cool.
It is.
High-tech gadgets, gritty urban environments, a fight against corruption in a society on the brink. Signing up.
Vigilancer 2099 seems like it's going to deliver everything a cyberpunk fan could want.
Totally. But what I find really intriguing is how they're handling the theme of technology.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about cool gadgets and visuals. It's about exploring the impact of technology on society.
Right.
The potential for both progress and destruction.
It's about those ethical dilemmas.
Exactly. Where do we draw the line between human and machine?
How much power do we give to corporations and AI?
And who's responsible when things go wrong?
Big questions.
Right. Vigilancer 2099 isn't just a cyberpunk action game.
Yeah.
It's a reflection on the challenges and opportunities of a technologically advanced future.
And it's a future you can experience with your friends.
Yes.
Thanks to 4-player co-op and crossplay on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS.
Imagine patrolling those neon-lit streets with your squad hacking into corporate systems, taking down corrupt officials.
It's like living out a cyberpunk dream.
Totally. It's a powerful fantasy and one that I think is going to resonate with a lot of gamers.
For sure.
Especially those who are drawn to the cyberpunk aesthetic and those themes of rebellion, justice, and technological advancement.
Absolutely.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground in this first part of our...
And, celebrating what games can do.
Right.
Entertain, challenge, and connect us in ways that very few other mediums can.
Well said. And on that note, we are going to wrap up our deep dive into the future of first-person shooters.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And that you're as excited as we are to see what the future holds.
Absolutely. Until next time, happy gaming.